America, I'm glad to have my brother Ray Caesar Leo back with us for another one of Ray's Take. Caesar, what you got for the people?
Man, I want to talk about Dak Prescott a little bit, and I know everybody's talking about Dak, and that's a good thing in this case, man. We're talking about a guy that um, we really didn't know what to expect, and from a Cowboy fan included, I'd be lying to you if I could come on this show and say I knew Dak Prescott was going to do what he did against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I thought Dak Prescott would be fine, and by fine, I thought he'd be able to play, right? He would be able to compete. He'd do some good things, but he'd also be rusty. That was my thought process. So I didn't really think that by any stretch of the imagination, Dak Prescott will be the guy to go toe to toe with Tom Brady in week one. Not to say that he can't, but just not in week one. I thought it would take some time to get back to the level of play where I think he's capable of. Man, forget all of that. Dak Prescott has proven to me that the preseason, the offseason, the whatever season is overrated. All right. The only thing that matters is, do you have people in your corner that can take care of your body physically, right? So doctors, trainers, all of that. Do you have a franchise that will, you know, take their time in getting you where you feel like you need to be, right? And listening to you. He's got that. And then the other part is, do you have the belief, man, the utmost belief in yourself that you can get the job done when it matters? Dak Prescott didn't play in the preseason. If you watch Hard Knocks, which we did, Dak Prescott didn't throw a lot of passes in practice, right? The last episode is when he really started to show that he had the stuff. But here's what lets me know Dak always had the stuff. The game plan against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers was to throw it from the door. Why? Because they have one of the top defensive lines, and the top front sevens in the NFL today. And I think Kellen Moore, the offensive coordinator, knew that. Mike McCarthy knew that. And that's why you didn't see Zeke run the ball a lot. They literally said, week one, Dak Prescott, we don't care if you've thrown the ball 1,000 times in practice or one time. We're going to throw the ball 60 times. 60, right? And not only are we going to do it 60 times, we believe that you can win the game for us. Listen, Dak Prescott was on fire. Like, he was exploiting mismatches. He was changing plays. He was taking his time in the pocket. There was no hesitation. And that's just not something you expect to see. Rust is just something that you would naturally expect to see from any athlete that has not competed in their craft at the highest of levels. The most important position in the sport. I can think of a few guys in week one that are great players that were a little bit rusty, and that's nothing against them. That's just the name of the game.
You go ahead and name one. It's okay. I know you love him. We brothers. Go ahead and name one.
Oh, see, I tell you what.
It's okay.
No, that's good though. Aaron Rodgers is a prime example. Nobody thinks Aaron Rodgers has fallen off a cliff. Nobody. But he had a rusty first game, and that's just strictly because he hasn't been in the rhythm like that. That's natural, man. That's just a part of the deal. All right. Carson Wentz, Trevor Lawrence, who hadn't seen a real live NFL defense, struggled. Threw for a ton of yards, but struggled. That's just the name of the game. So what Dak Prescott did is extra impressive to me because we literally know this guy was not able to throw the football, period. Like, was not able to have that timing with his receivers. The only thing that he could do with them consistently is be in the same rooms as them, practice with them in film study mentally, go through those mental reps. But to watch him come out and showcase his skill set like that, man, I think it's very impressive. I also like the fact that after the game, Dak Prescott went up to Tom Brady and said, "We'll see you again soon." So he has not lost that swagger. He has not lost that swagger because that lets me know that he truly believes, and I do too. I truly believe, and he truly believes that this team has what it takes to be there. I said it, a few weeks back, man. The Cowboys don't have to be elite on defense. They just need to be decent. They went toe-to-toe with the defending champs and were impressive along the way. They just left Tom Brady too much time. Now, I am sycamore of moral victories, so I don't even want to go into, oh, you almost beat him. You should know better than to leave Tom Brady a minute and some change. I'm just saying, as perspective, that lets me know that Dak Prescott feels not only that he has it together already, but that his team has that promise that they can be in postseason play.
Brother, I picked Dak as my dark horse MVP candidate. Do you think that I was being getting ahead of myself a little bit. You think I'm caught up in the Hard Knocks hype and him being back, him playing at Mississippi State, him being, a brother.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah,
Do
yeah,
you
yeah.
think I went too far in calling him a dark horse MVP candidate?
Here's why I say you're not. Simply because if you're talking betting odds and stories, the NFL loves stories.
Right.
Without a shadow of a doubt, he's going to be comeback player of the year because of what he's went through. The
Mm-hmm.
only guys that have a chance to be that comeback player of the year are going to be him and Carson Wentz, in my opinion, because it's all about stories. Now, if Dak Prescott can get the Dallas Cowboys not only into the playoffs, but win a game or two, which means we're playing possibly for a divisional or NFC championship or a Super Bowl, he's going to win MVP. He will, because he is the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. He will have to put up crazy numbers to get us there, and I know that he can do that. But just also they love a story. The media loves a story, and what better story than to have one of the prominent faces in the NFL come back off a devastating injury, where everybody was like, "Man, will he be able to perform at that level ever again?" Well, we know he can do that. He's clearly shown that.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the scary part that I'm excited about. Dak Prescott did that against live action of people who were trying to take his head off, right? In week one. Imagine what he's going to look like when he actually gets his rhythm and gets his wind and starts to realize, what that live action feels like again. It's exciting. I'm not going to go too far with it and say, oh, Dak, we're going to win the Super Bowl because of it. But knowing what I know now is that Dak was okay. They were just being extra cautious with that young man. Man, I'm excited about the at least the possibilities. I'm excited about the possibilities. But I think you're spot on, man. That he should be a top 3 candidate for MVP if things continue to trend the way that they can.
Well, who y'all got next week, and what's your prediction on that one?
San Diego Chargers next week. I think the San Diego Chargers are also a sleeper team. Not a sleeper team for the championship, but a sleeper team for a possible wild card berth.
Mm-hmm.
I really like their quarterback, Justin Herbert. I think he's going to be one of the top 5 to 10 quarterbacks real soon, like real soon. Their defense is not as good as it has been in the past, but they still have some playmakers. But they have, man, dramatically improved their offensive line play. They're smart out there. They figured that they got the franchise quarterback, so they went and drafted a franchise left tackle, Rashawn Slater, right, out of Northwestern. And they just started building pieces around this young quarterback. I think that game is going to be another tough one for the Cowboys because we'll be going toe-to-toe with them. I'd like to see what our defense is going to do in week 2, see if they can keep that same kind of like ball-hawking turnover mentality.
Y'all at home or on the road?
We didn't have that at all last year. You know what? I don't know that. Let's find out. Yeah, so man, we got the Chargers at SoFi Stadium, that brand new stadium that they showed with the Rams out in LA. It should be a lot of fireworks because, like I said, both teams are showing that they can get it done offensively. I think both teams have a surprisingly good defense, not great, surprisingly good defense, and I'm excited to see what our defense can provide. Last week they did a good job of taking the ball away. We just got to get some pressure on the D line, man. We didn't lay a finger on Tom Brady last week, and I mean a finger.
He gets rid of the ball stupid.
He does.
You know what I'm saying? Because he knows where everybody coming from
Yeah.
and all that kind of stuff. Y'all hear that, America? I'm giving Tom Brady credit for all y'all that think I'm just a Tom Brady hater. Y'all heard that, right? Okay.
Yeah, that's the one y'all gonna get from too. That is the one. That is the one you're gonna get. But yeah, man, that's the one side that has to improve the defensive line play. And I'm just excited to see what we can do. We got a couple of injuries. We got one player suspended. It's the Cowboys. What are you gonna do? Leo Collins has to miss 5 games for something. I don't know.
5 games? What did they catch him with?
I have no clue. It wasn't COVID related. I don't know if it's performance enhancing drugs or the other kind. I don't know. So I don't want to speculate. But he is done for 5 games. Michael Gallup.
That's all he got.
Is down for at least 3 weeks. So we're already experiencing that injury bug early on, but that's no different than any other team. Like I said, last year it was a thing, but you can never use that as an excuse. Everybody's going to get hurt at some point this year.
Violent game.
It's a violent game, and it's an extra game in 2021. So that's just going to happen.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to seeing what Dak can do in week 2, because man, if you can do that against the defending Super Bowl champs in week 1,
and a
where
good
they
defense.
and a good defense, they
And
brought everybody back.
dare I say, great defense, especially once they started rolling.
Yeah,
man, they have hitters.
they have hitters.
Hitters in that front seven, dog.
At each level, and there's something to be said about bringing everybody back. Like they brought every single starter back.
That usually doesn't happen, bro.
Man, and that's just something you can't replicate. Like, it's one thing for you to say, I'm gonna bring in a free agent, I'm gonna draft a new guy to start. They literally brought everybody
usually
back.
You win the Super Bowl, somebody leaves and
going to get the bag.
Like, you will know this before anybody. I'm sure Cowboy Nation remember this. When y'all won the Super Bowl, I want to say against the Steelers. Who was y'all Super Bowl MVP? I think it was
Larry Brown.
Didn't somebody give him a bag after that? Like immediately after that, somebody gave him a stupid bag.
He left and went to the Raiders. He was never the same guy. But that's to your point.
That's what happens.
That's what happens. Guys get on, they win big, and then they bounce.
Yeah, folks start picking you apart. They usually take your defensive coordinator, offense coordinator, something like that. I think they brought the coaching staff back as well, bro. So for y'all to come out there and do what y'all did against them boys, I was thoroughly impressed. Even though y'all lost, I was thoroughly. I will say this. That was an OPI. I don't care what people are saying. That was an OPI. That was an OPI. Bruh, I'm sick of it, but it was Tom Brady. It was Tom Brady. Bro, it was an OPI, bro.
I looked at it.
He pushed the man down.
And I watched it, obviously, with my wife, with diehard Cowboys fans. I knew something would happen to turn the tide of that final drive. Tom Brady is amazing. But in that moment, I just felt like something was going to happen to turn that tide. And that just happened to be the play. I just go back to it. In my brain, I just kept thinking to myself, as angry as I was, you can't give the ball back to Tom Brady. If there was ever a flaw or ever a strike that you can put up against the Cowboys offense, you got to figure out a way to burn some time. I think that's when
y'all wouldn't have
that next step.
They hit. This is what I'm saying about when that guy is the quarterback and y'all got to go against him in those reps.
Yeah.
When y'all had the ball, Dak made a great throw along that sideline, if I'm not mistaken. Along the sideline, it got called back on a hold by your future Hall of Famer, Tyron Smith. Am I mistaken on that? I think I remember that play.
You're good.
Okay.
You're good.
So that killed y'all, basically. You know what I'm saying? Because that took away that big play. So the ref saw that. But this OPI right there with the ref standing right there. Oh, no, we don't see that. It's crazy, bro.
You know how it is, man. You know, people will say the same thing about LeBron or Jordan or whatever. When you go up against those guys, you got to go up against the refs too. And it's the truth. It's the truth. Legends are always going to get the benefit of the doubt. And you have to understand that going in. You have to beat Tom Brady. You have to get pressure on him. You got to make him uncomfortable. You got to be draped over the receivers without actually touching them. It's a lot of ifs.
Now, your boy, to your point on that.
Yeah.
Y'all moved him off his spot, made him look ugly, and he just threw one up. And I want to say Micah Parsons should have had that pick. He was right there by the guy. He should have picked that. It should have been a pick six. Like, you got to have that. Those situations, you got to have those plays. And he'll probably learn that. He's rookie, first game playing against a guy so savvy like Tom Brady. You know what I'm saying? That's tough. But
he had them all over the place, man. You know, Tom had my rookie all over the place, just manipulating them. But it's cool to see those moments. It's cool to see a rookie just be excited to play. You can see the raw physical talent, but like between the ears, it's there, but it's not happening fast enough. So he knows now that, man, this is what the elite look like, and I got to be there all the time. The rest of the guys know it. I'm just so excited to see Dak come back and literally look like one of the top quarterbacks in the NFL.
A bad boy.
That alone, man. If you're a Cowboys fan at home, that has to get you excited. I know as a Cowboy fan, we are tired of more victories to say we almost had it. I'm over that. Trust me, I'm over that. But looking ahead, play the long game on this one. Dak is back, and as long as that brother stays healthy, we're in great shape. Not good shape, great shape.
Before I let you go, then, I don't think we mentioned Zeke not one time today.
Yeah. He didn't do anything.
What were your thoughts on Zeke, man? Coming in, everybody talking about how great shape he's in. You absolutely right. It's hard. I don't know what to run against that front seven of Tampa Bay. So do you think that was more a scheme not to get Zeke involved in the running game?
I really do.
Okay.
I do now. Now, with that being said, had the Cowboys been up 10 or had been up, let's say 8, let's say the point lead was 8 when Tom Brady, he was trying to bring us back instead of the other way around, right?
Mm-hmm.
We would have found out if Zeke was ready. We would have found out because you want to chew that clock. And therefore, you're going to hand the ball off to 21. I just think that game plan, whether it was Zeke was going to run it, I think he ran like 13 times that night. So let's say the plan was for him to run it 20 times. Well, when you see Dak rolling the way he's rolling, and it's that easy for you to move the ball, naturally some of those carries are going to come down, especially when you're handing it off to Zeke and the rush is already in his face. Like we have to remember, man, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers front seven is amongst the best 7 in the league. Like you're not going to find a lot of teams that are better. I will say this. Let's look at Zeke next week against the Chargers. Let's look at him the week after. If in 2 weeks he's still putting up these same numbers, we need to have a conversation. And the conversation needs to be Zeke has fallen off, yes or no. That's just long and short of it, because in these next 2 weeks, it's not going to be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's going to be middle of the road and below average defense. So let's find out in 2 weeks what we say about Zeke.
All right, well, America, y'all heard it here first from the Pulse of Cowboys Nation. Y'all make sure y'all check with us in 2 weeks and every week.
That's
what I'm saying? To check out Ray's Take. Appreciate you, brother.
Yes, sir.
My kids wanted me to tell y'all to make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow me across all social media platforms. Like the videos and share them. Did I forget anything?
And turn on the post notifications.
Y'all heard them. And also, visit Statement Tees, LLC.com and shop with us. That's Statement Tees. Every t-shirt you wear
makes a statement.